We are in conversation with Professor Satinder Dhiman from the Woodbury University, Burbank, California, USA. Hearty welcome, Professor Saab.
Thank you, sir.
And this is the next series and the next episode. And this particular series is being specially developed by Professor Dhiman Saab, which is next to his heart, how to empower the education system in India. As a management guru, when he is visiting India, I asked him that let's devote this particular visit of yours where we can empower our educators, our teachers, our trainers. And so far in the different episodes, he have been talking about various contents, various areas. And I recollect, Professor Sir, yesterday also in our previous series which we were working and we were talking about, you have maximum emphasized all the time how to develop universally acceptable, international level, pragmatic, positive, dynamic, world-class contents. Would you be kind enough today, let's devote this particular episode onto content development, how institutions should go by, how to empower the education system with content development.
Sure. Sharma Saab, you have asked a question which is very close to my heart.
Wow.
Thanks for asking that. Now, you will recall in our previous episode,
Yes.
we talked about that technology only helps those people
Mhm.
who are good to begin with.
Mhm.
And technology cannot cover up
Mhm.
inefficiencies.
Yes.
If an organization is inefficient, technology will not help.
Will not.
The
be
same theory applies to content development.
Okay.
So an organization or an enterprise
Mhm.
which wants to develop excellent training material
Mhm.
or empowerment material,
Mhm.
whichever way you want to call it,
Mhm.
must start at the beginning, must
Mhm.
begin at the beginning.
Mhm.
And what's the beginning?
Mhm.
World class, as you mentioned, pragmatic,
Mhm.
world class content,
Mhm.
which is based on best practices,
Okay.
which is based on established research,
Mhm.
not based on somebody's opinion.
Mhm.
We're not talking about opinions.
Mhm.
We're talking about solid,
Facts.
replicable research.
Yes. Yes.
Scientific, solid, empirical, replicable research.
Okay.
Now the question arises, if I have to sum up the whole thing in 2-3 pointers,
Yeah.
what are those?
Mhm.
Number one,
Mhm.
the very first thing of the
Mhm.
starting point is
Mhm.
we have to show
Mhm.
our educators
Mhm.
who are going to be the people who are going to deliver the content,
Mhm.
what is best out there.
Okay.
So through nowadays, everything is available on the internet.
Mhm.
Through savvy internet research,
Hmm.
we should be able to identify the best practices. We have to go to Denmark. I mean, not literally go to Denmark. We have to look at the schools in Denmark.
Hmm.
We have to look at schools in Norway, for example,
Mhm.
public funded schools.
Mhm.
We can look at the Singapore model.
Mhm.
Similarly, we can choose the best public school models from US and Europe, other parts of Europe also.
Mhm.
So the very first point is go out, look for the best which is out there.
Mhm.
You will remember that there is a very beautiful quote in Rig Veda.
Mhm.
It says, in translation, it
Mhm.
says,
Mhm.
let knowledge come to us from all directions.
Hmm.
The idea is,
Wow.
if India wants to be a world-class player,
Vishwaguru.
Yeah, Vishwaguru.
We
I
use the
always
word
use the
Vishwaguru. Yes.
if India wants to be Vishwaguru,
Yeah.
then India has to open
Hmm.
its windows.
Hmm.
Sharma ji,
Hmm.
metaphorically speaking, we have to, you want the best air, you want the fresh air to come to your house,
Yes.
you have to open the windows. Similarly, India has to open its intellectual windows.
Okay.
And the starting point is, look for which people have done something the best
Okay.
and learn from them.
Yes.
Be
And
their
pick up
students.
that.
Pranipaten,
Yeah.
Pariprashanena Sevya.
Yeah.
That was the template given yesterday.
Yeah.
So the very first point is,
Hmm.
assemble
Hmm.
and collect
Hmm.
the best practices
Mhm.
on the topic that you want to teach.
Hmm.
First point of content analysis
Mhm.
or development.
Mhm.
Second point is,
Mhm.
make research a requirement for faculty, for teachers.
Yes.
Why?
Very important component.
What is research?
Uh,
It is
Hmm.
research.
Hmm.
Re means again, search
Hmm.
means search.
Hmm.
So research is the art of searching for the content again and again.
Hmm.
If research is made, now you can look at the best practices,
Mhm.
but they keep on changing.
Mhm.
We are living in a virtual world
Mhm.
where yesterday's news is no news.
Mhm.
Because information is changing at the speed of light
Mhm.
in nanosecond,
Mhm.
the information has to be updated, refreshed.
Mhm.
How to do that? the teacher has to pick up the art of research. So the first thing is develop world-class content by using the best practices. Second, train your teacher in the art of research so that they can periodically update. They can periodically update the material, the best practices. And third, encourage teachers to do writing. Encourage teachers to write books, articles, and also the system should have funds set aside to send the faculty, to send the professors, to send the instructors to conferences.
Okay.
Right? How do we see? Adults learn.
It's an exposure.
Adults learn only through two ways. Number one, either they learn through going to some kind of conferences or taking some extra, like they want to do PhD or extra, postgraduate degrees. The second way they learn is when they interact with adults which are better learners than them.
Okay.
The only way we learn is through the formal process and also interacting. So the system should have funds to sponsor some of its faculty to go to conferences so they can see. So what is this? This is a constant updating process. You got the best practices, then through research, faculty member is updating it, and by going to conferences and seminars and workshops, they are constantly keeping the knowledge updated. Sometimes it pains my heart when I go around in India and see that we are teaching 50-year-old information. That information has become outdated, but we are still asking our student to memorize that. This should not happen. If India wants to want to be a key player in the world economy, education is the root. And in order to do that, we have to deal with content with the best of the best content through best practices, identify best practices, through research update them, and then also periodically open the windows. That is the idea. Because this expression is very beautiful, that we as a teacher, I have kept my windows open. I am learning everything through our conversation, through interacting with your faculty.
We learn from each other.
Interacting from your, we had a particular person in our Indian culture, Dattatreya. Dattatreya was a great sage. He had 24 teachers. He learned from everything, right? A teacher should make a point to learn from everything. Any person, I remember Emerson, a great English author, American author, when he was on his deathbed, somebody asked him, Mr. Emerson, how do you know so much? He said, very simple. Every person I met, I believed that he or she knew something better than me. And to that extent, I became his or her teacher, student. To pick up the best from them. So we learn by interacting with people who know more, because let's face it, all of us are ignorant on different subjects, right? I do not know a particular subject that you are master of, but when we become collaborators in learning, so let's become partners in learning. Let's become collaborators in learning. The teacher's industry interface. Teacher going in conferences, presenting paper. The idea is to know and let know. To know and let
exchange, student exchange, cultural exchange, cuisine exchange, and that is cross the geographical boundaries and just move out.
The whole purpose of this thing is very simple. I will sum up in one phrase: to know and to let know. That's all. I want to know, but I also want to share. Right?
Great.
So Rig Veda says very beautifully, let the knowledge come from all directions. Keep your windows of mind open. And be receptive. Be like an absorbing sponge.
Student.
Absorb information. Right? Remain a student all your life. That is the way.
Great.
The way to become the great teacher is to become a great student. One first has to become a student. Only then they become a great teacher.
Professor Saab, well said. And see, we were talking about the contents development and where he started initially onto the best practices, and he came to the research part. And I'm pretty sure that throughout India, all our teachers must be extremely, extremely happy when he has touched the chord where he says, let them go out, let them move out, let them see what is happening at other shores.
Yes.
So all the governments, in the state governments and particularly central government, we would request, let's work out in a system. If we want to empower our education system, let's share the knowledge and let's open up the new vistas and the new opportunities for our educators, for our teachers and trainers to get the best practices from others as well.
There was Dr. Saab, there was a great financial expert, Andrew Carnegie. When he was very young and struggling, he remembers a story that his boss sent him to do some kind of stock market deal and to achieve certain target. So he was able to achieve that, and he makes a phone call to his boss. He says, "Sir, so I have already achieved my quota yesterday." And his boss asked him, "What did you do today?" So the idea is not that you have achieved your quota yesterday, now you can rest. The idea is to constantly improve. It is like shaving. No matter how great we did yesterday, we have to do it again today to look good. So improvement, continuous improvement. That's the idea of
wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Professor Saab. It was such an interesting episode, and all our teachers, all our educators, let's move ahead. Let's see the universe. Let's mingle with others. Let's collaborate with others. And we would request all the state governments and the central governments, let's have more of the faculty exchange, student exchange, cultural exchange, tourism exchange, whatsoever is possible. I'm pretty sure that it will develop the world contents. Thanks for joining us for this particular episode. Stay tuned in. We will be meeting soon. Professor Saab is right over here. We'll come with the next episode. And meanwhile, I would request you subscribe us on your youtube.com/GS Motivator. Also like us, follow us, and you can comment on us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are in conversation with Professor Satinder Dhiman, basically empowering Indian education system.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
My privilege.